And David Irving is already suspended indefinitely for violating the substance abuse policy. Now he might be done in the NFL for good. Irving posted this video on Instagram yesterday while smoking, saying he's done with football because of the league's marijuana policy. So, Shannon, what do you make of this?
Skip, did David Irving realize how ridiculous he looked and how ridiculous he sounded?
Apparently not.
And I was reading some of the comments up under that, and they're like, "You right, bruh." No, you're not. Don't encourage this foolishness. Skip, off-season testing for marijuana. They give you an advance note, okay, they're going to test when you go back to minicamp. They're going to test you for marijuana. If you test clean, you good. Smoke away. This is how it works. One positive test, Skip, you're referred to the program. A second violation, they find you 2 game checks. A third violation is 4 games. A fourth violation is 4 games. A fifth violation is 10 games. A sixth violation, you get suspended for a year.
Okay.
So how many times has this man had to have failed to get suspended for a year? I get it. Skip, I've talked to a lot of people and some of the retired players, and they say, Shannon, this is a godsend. And I used to be a staunch advocate. No, no, no. But I believe there's a way to go about all things. You smoking a blunt on Instagram is not the way to go about it.
You're talking about medical marijuana.
Medical. Yeah. Skip, and here's the thing. Every medicine ever come out has a purpose. It's the abuse of that. Because this is what we know, Skip. For every 5 players that really needed to tolerate pain, they're going to be 5 to 10 that do it because they can. Skip, forgive me if I'm wrong. I do not believe, and I could be wrong, that David Irving is doing this for medicinal purposes. If I'm wrong, Lord, forgive me. And here's the fine line that we got to walk. Because is he Josh Gordon or is he doing this for pleasure? Because I have empathy and I sympathize with someone that's going through this. But it just goes to show you all these people, oh, marijuana is not addictive. Bull jive. Because if you can make 50 million, 70 million, and you can't stop doing something, that means it has addictive person, be it sex or gambling or shopping, whatever the case may be. Skip, you can be addicted to a lot of things. I just believe he went about it the wrong way. Not saying that he doesn't make some compelling points, but until the NFL adopt your point of view or say, you know what, guys, we're going to allow this, but you're going to have to come, get to our doctors. Because, Skip, you can find a doctor write your prescription for anything, no matter what you need. The opioid crisis, Skip, they were giving them for very good reason. It was when people started abusing it when it became a problem. Then it became a problem. And I'm afraid that, especially a lot of the retired players, and I've talked to some, says, man, it helps me, bro, get out of bed. And I got no problem with it. If you need it for that, but for me, Skip, for you to do this, to be suspended, I don't believe this is all pain. If I'm wrong, hey, I'll come on air and say I'm wrong. But to be suspended, 6th violation, that's what results in. And when you knew when they were going to test you for the very first time and you still do it, they always say, Skip, you either the 2 Ds. When it comes to the marijuana thing, 2 Ds, you either dumb or you dependent. Those are the only options.
Skip.
So I'm going to just speak as obviously a Dallas Cowboy fan. Just watching this last night just tore me up because I have talked him up so many times on this show. He's an extraordinary talent. We had Rob Ryan on the show last year just raving about him. Rob says he's the biggest human being I've ever seen in pads on a football field. Because he looms 6'7". I don't know what he weighs, 3 something.
310.
And I have seen him in action. I'm not going on potential. I'm watching performance where I saw that game. You'll remember the game at Green Bay. This is in 2016, Dak's rookie year. They went up to, and Dak outplayed Aaron Rodgers, and they just did a number on him, 30-16. Guess who the NFC Defensive Player of the Week was? David Irving. He just took the game over, and he forced 3 fumbles and recovered 1, and he had a sack. And he batted down on Aaron Rodgers' pass, and he only played 19 snaps in the game. And you could just see it. You see what happens in the middle of the line. He's a defensive tackle. He just creates havoc in the middle of the line because he just looms up over everybody. Okay? So I'm sitting last night, I'm thinking, am I watching his whole NFL career literally go up in smoke?
Yeah.
Right? Go up in smoke?
You're watching it live.
We're live. What are you doing? Is it addiction? Is it dependency? I don't know. Is it sad? Yeah. It's really sad because I just have this fear in the pit of my stomach for this kid, and he's 25 years old, that he's going to wake up at 35 and say, what was I doing?
Right.
I had it in the palm of my hand.
You know how many guys I've talked to, Skip, when they've made bad mistakes and they've done something, wish they had the money that they had lost through the decisions that they made.
Right.
And I agree with you. I think he will look back one day like, man, what the hell was I thinking?
What was I doing?
Did I let $30-40 million go?
Go. And the fame of it, the achievement of it, where, as you know, you become a made man in the NFL forever. You would always be viewed. What if he made 5 Pro Bowls?
Yeah.
Who knows if he could make the Hall of Fame? But let's just say he becomes a Pro Bowl player. Well, then for the rest of your life, you're known as a Dallas Cowboys star.
Yeah.
In Dallas, trust me, you can trade off that.
And you know what, Skip? A lot of times, a lot of the guys have very similar backgrounds. If you listen to the Hall of Famers, all of them, overcame something. And when you get to this level, everybody's overcome something, some more than others. For me, getting out of the environment, my brother and we talked a lot. But the only thing we really talked about was getting our grandmother out of that environment. I was unwilling to do anything that would jeopardize that. Now, I've been very fortunate. Now, my father, my father died at the age of 39, Skip, because he drank himself. My uncles, I have yet to have an uncle to reach the age of 70 on my mom's side. Not one has ever reached that age. My grandfather didn't reach that age. So I'm thinking to myself, if you know that about yourself, Skip, David, look, I understand. But I believe there was a better way that you could have done this better than IG Live. Smoking a blunt in the offseason, talking about you quitting the NFL because they don't see eye to eye with you on what you think how marijuana should be viewed. That's something that you go to the Players Association.
Yeah.
And you ask them to have a panel discussion and you try and talk to the league.
Yep.
And eventually, Skip, I believe the league will see to this because they see what's happening with the pain pill. And everybody can't, if it says 1 every 4 hours, Skip, if they say take 1 every 4 hours, if I go ahead and take 2, and then 2 leads to 3, 4, 5, and then next thing you know.
Right.
Come on, David, bro. Okay, you don't want to play in the NFL? Hey, send out a letter, says I'm retiring from the NFL. You don't even have to say why. But to go on IG Live, I don't know how many people are going to become sympathetic to your plight for the simple fact you're smoking a blunt in the offseason and you're talking about pain. What, is that why you got suspended all the other times? Was because of pain?
And every time I hear him speak, he has intellect to him. Like he has the ability to think through what's happening because it's deep. And the points he's making about the pain-killing drugs, they're smart points because they're real. They're right.
Absolutely, yes.
The hypocrisy involved of they're forcing us to take these painkillers, and this is wrong.
Right.
Well, if you just wait a while, it might be legalized in the next few years and across the country, and then all bets are off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And we understand, but I just don't understand. Does he think by him doing this IG Live that the NFL say, you know what? We saw that post that David Irving did, and we really need to take this under consideration.
All right.
Sometimes I just wonder what the guys say. Look, I don't tell guys how to spend their money, but I always advise guys, don't mess your money up. Don't do things that's going to put you, because I believe that most of these guys, everybody is taking care of somebody other than themselves. Mom, dad, grandma, sister, brother, everybody is doing that to some extent. Wife, kids. So when you do things, Skip, I just can't think about Shannon. When I played, I had a grandmother, had a sister, had a mom, had kids. I had to think about them. You need to think about other people other than you. And I hope, Skip, But it's hard for me to believe this dude is. I mean, think about it. You got to fail 6 tests.
You do.
And the very first test that you failed, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And by the way, you didn't even mention the failed PED test. So we got that one.
So was that about pain too?
And you don't want a video like this to be something that he lives to regret. And that's what I think everyone,
yes,
regardless of how you feel about
now it's
medical
out there. It's going to live in infamy.
It's going to live on, and people are going to worry about the future and just the social media era. You have to be careful.
2 things you'll never be able to get back: deeds done and words spoken. That's a deed. I mean, it might have. Hold on. He didn't think about it like, you know what? Hold on, I want to do that. Hold on, wait a minute now. This thing gonna be up here forever. If I better not do that. I think there's a better way for me to get my point across. That didn't even dawn him. That didn't even cross his mind, bruh.
No,
come on, David. Don't mess your money up.
Well, I guess he wasn't in his right mind.
Yeah.
He didn't even play this year.
Leave it at that.
He didn't play.
All right. We are going to move on to Michael Jordan because he did make somewhat of a
are you going to excuse this?
LeBron, but did he actually throw some shade at
nice
LeBron?
comment.